everybody. Thank you again for tuning in to Embracing Endings YouTube channel. So as always, this is purely for educational purposes. If you do need any help that would be considered medical, legal, financial, we can help to connect you to those providers. However, this is just for informational purposes. So today we have a great episode. I'm very excited about this. I have Gogi Padilla here, and she is from a company that she founded called Answer Sure. And today we're going to be talking about scam prevention, which I think is probably out of all of the providers that I've met so far, I was definitely the most excited to get connected with you just because of how prevalent this is. So thank you for being here. And I would love to hear a little bit more about your story about, why you started the company.
Well, thank you very much, Claire. Yes, I started for Answer Shore back in 2020, and it was in reaction to my mom almost becoming a victim of this crime. Phone scam is a crime, and I wanted to protect my mother. So I created a service, a methodology in which her phone would not ring unless the call was vetted. And that was the birth of Answer Sure.
I love that. It's so needed and it's so smart. And one thing I was looking at, I know we all love some statistics. So in 2023, the FBI has an internet crime complaint center, and they reported that about, I think it was $3.4 billion were reported in losses for scams just for people over 60. And
Yes,
that's just for the people that actually reported it.
that's right.
That is insane.
That's right. That right. That amount is considerably higher. I say that with all certainty because the crime is one of the most underreported in our country.
Definitely. And do you think that, I know for some of the providers I've had conversations with, especially some daily money managers and things of that nature, do you think that it is not reported due to a sense of embarrassment or more fear that these individuals are going to essentially lose their sense of independence if they tell any of their family members what happened? Why do you think it's something that really kind of flies under the radar so much?
Well, you hit on both parts of it. Yes, people are embarrassed. They don't really understand that these are professional criminals
Mhm.
and they're using actual information that they've garnered either through social media, the internet, calling their potential victims several times and getting pieces of information. So, yes, feeling embarrassed, definitely, and also losing their autonomy, their independence. Children restricting their bank from allowing them to take out certain things or certain
Yeah.
amount. So yeah, it is.
And I remember when we were chatting, you were talking about how sometimes these scammers can now with AI produce hundreds of numbers simultaneously. Is that something that if someone wasn't using a technology like AnswerSure, what are common things that someone could even watch out for?
Well, any call that you receive that they're giving you a sense of urgency, um, that's a big red flag. They do that so you get off center, fear-based calls,
Yeah.
threatening calls.
Yeah.
Those I would say are the three top ones that your mind should start saying, this doesn't sound right, because they use that tactic that you start responding from emotion. They start responding from fear.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things I would look for if you're answering your phone. Yes.
Yeah, definitely. When I was younger, my parents always, we had a, secret family password in case a stranger ever came up to us and they would, we always had to say, okay, what was mom and dad's secret password to know that it was a safe person. And to be honest with you, I genuinely think that's a great idea
Yeah.
for someone that has an aging parent, especially if you do not live with them or they are not living in a assisted living or something along those lines where there isn't really a monitoring system in place. If you don't have the passcode, which funny enough is how Answer Shore actually works. So I was going to say, can you actually dive into that a little bit deeper just so people can really understand exactly how complex this is, but unbelievably simple to use?
Well, thank you. I did the same with my kids. We still have the password.
Yeah.
Anyway, Answer Shore, it's both landline capacity and we have cell phone capacity as well. Um, the plan that many people gravitate to is called the representative plan. And it works, the client forwards their phone to the Answer Shore call center. Our call center representative picks up every call. It's 24/7, 365. Picks up every call. They ask to whom the person caller would like to speak with. They give the client's name and they'll ask for the client's password or phrase. We have some clients that have a phrase.
Yeah.
If the caller has that information, the call is released, and only then will our client's telephone ring. So we say the name of the company's Answer Sure. Our clients are answering with some certainty when their phone rings because they know it's been vetted.
Right.
Now,
Exactly.
with the representative plan, it offers a little more autonomy because if a call comes in and the person does not have the password with the representative plan, a message will be taken. So you don't really lose anyone in that plan.
Right. And I think that that's so smart just because, I mean, someone could have
Yeah.
come across your information like an old friend from Facebook or something like that, and they do want to reach out or something along those lines. So I definitely think that plan makes the most sense. Absolutely. And for other scam prevention companies, how can someone tell if it is actually legitimate or not?
Well, legitimate or not, I'm going to take it a step back a little bit. I really advise people to look at what they're trying to achieve. Number one,
Hmm.
do you want the person that you want to put this service on or device on their phones? Do you want them to have the autonomy to press block the number, or do you want only calls that have been vetted
Right.
to ring that person's phone?
Yeah.
Because that sends you to different areas of this industry. Okay, because there's a lot of devices
Yeah.
that you can add to someone's telephone, and it can give the client the autonomy to block a call.
Mhm.
Okay, that they don't know. It works, and some people would like that. I find it a little cumbersome because you have to stand around and look at the number, right, to know if you want to answer it or not.
Right.
Um, and just from a personal standpoint, I just didn't want my mom to have the onus of deciphering which call is legit or not.
Right.
That's why our process is a little different. So start by thinking about what you want to achieve. Okay, how do you want this to work? Do you want the phone
Mhm.
to ring or not to ring? Do you want it to be identified, the call to be identified and not ring? Because that's possible as well nowadays.
Right.
So yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Definitely. Yeah. I think that it's, I know that people are super familiar with fraud and scams, but at least for myself, I absolutely knew nothing about scam prevention
Mhm.
until really we connected. So that my like mind was a little blown with that one. I had no idea that even was a thing.
It's sadly, it's become
It's
more
so
crime has become
needed.
so prevalent.
100%. And especially with AI and deep fakes and all these I mean, the technology is becoming unbelievably advanced and so real. And that's what makes it scary too, especially with certain things that can mimic loved ones' voices and things of that nature. It's really unbelievable. So I think that because more individuals do want to age in place and stay home,
Mhm.
why not put metrics into place to make sure that you can do that in the safest, easiest way possible?
I couldn't have said it better myself. Yes, yes. It's about prevention. It's about proactivity, not reactivity.
Oh, definitely.
You know, I can tell you real quickly when I first started the company in 2020, and I wasn't looking to go into business. I was looking to protect my mom. That was it.
Mhm. Yeah.
My husband that said, I think you should take this further. You're
Mhm.
not the only one going through this.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Um, I went in promoting proactivity and prevention and I can tell you, I think one of the biggest hurdles and still exists, it's a hurdle for me, but it's an opportunity for the criminal, is people believe they will never be a victim of this crime.
Yep.
And I'm telling you, anyone can be a victim of this crime.
Absolutely.
Anyone.
Yeah.
The right time, the right information, it can be.
Oh, definitely. And I think it's also too, if hopefully when the channel grows a little bit, anyone watching this, it's also not something to be embarrassed about just because they are so unbelievably advanced at this point that if something happens or you feel like something happened, tell someone. Immediately tell someone. Just because if you are at an advanced age, this is absolutely not the time to be making a mistake like that financially. It could literally cost you everything.
That's right. That's right.
So,
100%.
Gogi, how can people find information on Answer Sure? I'm going to also obviously put the information in the comments and all of that, but can you tell us the best way to reach you? Is that email, phone, going to the website?
Again, you hit all three. I have a phone number. Yes, I have a phone number. It's 732-702-0010. Email is also fantastic. Contact at answersure.com. And yes, we have a website as well, www.answersure.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here today. That was a great little chat. Always a pleasure. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one.